But let's be clear, we aren't just here to celebrate a date on calendar. We are here to activate a global mandate. The world has spent decades treating the empowerment of women like a charity project. But today, under the theme, Give to Gain, we're shifting the atmosphere. We are moving from pity to productivity, from being underserved to being strategically victorious. Before we look at numbers, I want to show you a picture of what this looks like in practice. So I will share the story, the architect of the empty chair. The story, the architect of the empty chair. Imagine a boardroom, silent, high stakes, filled with decision makers, just like the great women in-house today. In the corner of the room, there is an empty chair. For years, we have looked at that chair and seen a gap. We have seen what is missing. But today, I want to change the perspective. I want you to see that chair not as a vacancy, but as a strategic socket waiting for its power source. In my work as a management consultant and strategic architect, I've once met a woman who was a best kept secret. She was brilliant, but she sat in the shadows because she was waiting for someone to refer her. One day, a mentor did something radical. He didn't just give her a chance, he gave her his visibility. He stood up at a global summit, vacated a seat on a panel and said, "The person you need to hear from is not me, it is her." That day, he gave to gain. He gave up his spot, and in return, the entire organization gained a framework that increased their productivity by 10 times. He didn't lose his platform, he multiplied his legacy. This is the essence of International Women's Day 2026. We're not here to ask for seats. We are here to ensure that when we give our support, we gain a world that is no longer underserved, but strategically victorious. The take-home from the story is multifaceted, but however, take note that the chair wasn't empty because of lack of talent. It was empty because of lack of reciprocity. To give to gain is not a suggestion. It is a fluid architecture for a world that can no longer afford to leave its best assets in the shadows. Reciprocity requires two sides, someone to give support and someone to be bold enough to gain and lead. When we talk about give to gain, the power of reciprocity and support, it highlights the intentional generosity as an act of catalyst for mutual growth and sustainable success. It's talking about the psychology behind the principle of reciprocity. And it suggests that when an individual or an organization provides value first, they trigger a natural human inclination in order to respond in kind. What am I saying in essence? We have heard about the intentional multiplication, so I won't overflow that. When you are given, it's not a charity act like most people think. Intentional multiplication is what giving to gain is all about. It has been said earlier, you know 2 times 2 is 4. You can actually understand the concept of arithmetic. But we are saying today that when we're talking about intentional multiplication, which giving to gain is all about, it's geometric multiplication. It doesn't come back in the figures you expect. It has a multiplier effect. You don't get what you expect. You get much more than you expect. Now, talking about the psychological foundation of giving to gain, it's a universal norm, social norm, that when you show a sense, when you give to people, you trigger in them the sense of indebtedness. They know that yes, for what you've given, they have to give in return. So if you want to change the narrative, raise a crop of women making impacts, then you have to look at each woman that you come in contact with and sow into their life where they're lacking, where they have a need, so that they can multiply. Because when you sow the seed, the seed will multiply and return in multiple folds, serving other women. So it becomes a circle. You give, you gain, the gain spreads to many others, and so on it goes. And still talking about giving to gain. It's a relationship currency. There is no way that you give like a leader gives to his subordinates. You earn their trust, you earn their commitment, so their productivity will be high. So there is no way you give and the result will not be enormous. Now going forward, looking at the story that I shared, the architecture of the empty chair. The chair wasn't empty. It was just waiting for somebody that would do something. And that is where reciprocity comes in. It requires two sides, someone to give support and someone bold enough to gain and lead. International Women's Day 2026 is a call for women to transition from being underserved to being strategically victorious by unapologetically accepting the opportunities created through the global circle of giving as we have today. This is a global circle of giving because there's no way I would have been in all the countries here represented this day. And all the knowledge shared, there is no way I would have gained them because some of them will not be documented in books. So what are we saying in essence? We women, if we are going to change the narrative, then we have to be available to do more of this and to help others. Because as you go through the mentorship process, those whom you mentor will become leaders someday and begin to mentor others. Now the question to everybody here, I must ask you today, who are the best kept secrets in your organization? Whose strategic plug is currently unplugged? And more importantly, who are you willing to give visibility so that your entire ecosystem can gain its 10 times yield? I'm very happy about the offer that we've gotten, all the teachings, all the offers that has come this day. It's part of somebody recognizing the fact that some people here are unplugged, and of course nobody's perfect, nobody's complete, and someone has offered to give certain opportunities. That is a leader who understands the concepts of making the unplugged to be plugged without overflogging that. There are 3 pillars, 3 blueprints we need to take note of. You need to identify the sockets. When we talk about socket, that implies fluid architecture. You look for where talent is underutilized and give such persons the chance to be seen and heard. The second way to which you manifest the give to gain, philosophy, principle, concept, whatever you choose to call it, is to bridge the vision. That means become the bridge between a woman's inexhaustible vision and the market's daily necessity. There is gaps in the society. Women can feel it. It doesn't have to be the male gender, the females too. We talk about equity. When we're talking about equity, gender equity, are you preparing the ladies to compete with the male genders? Well, let me not use the word compete, to serve alongside the male gender. Because when we talk about gender equality, it's not about the female alone. It's given equal opportunity and rights to both gender. But we know over time that the females are underserved. We know that there is a gap there to be filled. that is what the giving to gain will serve. So we need to recognize the needs of the women vis-a-vis the needs of the society and begin to tailor our women towards filling the needs. When I use the word tailor, that means you plan it strategically. It's not just about just giving. Anybody can give, but when you're giving intentionally, that means you have a plan, you have a purpose, you're giving towards achieving something. It's like picking the girl child, training the girl child in school. When the girl child is out of school, grooming her for the next leadership position. That is tailoring. That is the fluid architecture. And going further, the third point we need to look at is the unapologetic visibility, which is the global positioning. Stop waiting for permission. Create the platform where giving and gaining happens simultaneously. Additionally, has something to do with follow-up and supervisory roles so that giving and gaining can happen simultaneously. A stellar example of such platform is this platform, the host African Women International Trade Network, AWITH. This is a platform where we constantly gain. I've gained a lot today. I don't know about any other person. And I can assure you that what I've gained will be multiplied. What I've been given, which is a gain, will become multiplied for others to also benefit from. I challenge women, every woman here, to build or join platforms that make giving and gaining a seamless reality. Not all platforms make it a reality. Some people want to be slave masters. Don't join such organization. Join organization, build organization that makes giving and gaining a seamless reality. This is exactly why we founded Development Initiative for Women of Upliftment, DIWU. We don't just talk about chairs, we build them. We empower women to navigate the brand productivity curve so that they can move from being a referral only to being globally positioned. We give for all to gain. My name is Professor Victoria Adebukola Samuel. Let's go forth. Let's give boldly. Let us gain a future that is finally unapologetically equal. Happy International Women's Day 2026. Thank you and God bless.